Aren't you on a song? Multiple songs?
Am on a song. Song drops November 5th. You Are Not Alone. That's the name of the jam. Music video. James, you've seen the videos, right? Where it's like the blindfolded, if you are struggling with anxiety or depression, hug me.
Yeah.
It's that vibe mixed with Drake's God's Plan vibe. That's like the best way to describe it. So bringing like giving back and mental health into one with people on the street. So
yeah, we have
that's a whole nother world, bro. Like just one of my friends, power of social media, producer in the States. He's like, Zach, how would you like to make a song? I'm like, okay. I had no idea. He's just like, let's do it. I'd love to help you. And so he got me in contact with the girl who sung the hook for one of Macklemore's biggest songs and another big rapper. And they produced it and really helped me make this happen. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that, bro. That's another example of another ice cream scoop.
Yeah, well, Sae'Von's very large in the music space. I
okay.
Kind of poke on that. He's rapper. He's going. I mean, the audio savant, legitimately. Like when you were like, oh, I don't have my mic. I'm like, doesn't fucking matter. Sae'Von's fine. You can be outside next to the interstate. He'll figure it out. I promise.
What kind of music do you make, Sae'Von? I'll have to check you out on. Are you on like Apple Music and Spotify, I imagine, as well?
Yeah, no, for sure. I am. And thank you about my voice. I always tell people I had no choice in the matter. So I just kind of, got dealt a good hand. But that's where I could kind of describe it, at least the vibe that I'm the era I'm in is like a combination of Hans Zimmer and 808 Mafia. That's the quickest way to describe it. Yeah.
Big body sound. Big body.
I'm excited to hear it tonight. After this, I'm gonna jam to some of it for sure.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it.
Is it what's the plug for people who are listening right now? What's your musician name? Sae'Von, or what's the name?
Sae'Von Springer. Yeah. I thought about doing. No, I didn't think of any goofy name other than Vegan Heathen. But yeah, it actually came from a song. The song's not out anymore, but just Sae'Von Springer.
Okay,
man, I appreciate that.
Dope. Yeah. Thanks, James.
Zach, you said that song drops when?
November 5th.
Hey, okay.
Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
You gonna start your career in the music space?
Nah, I don't think the music space is my play.
Hold on. Let's go abstract for a second. It could be the place because you're talking about micro content, aren't you? Why are you not? Your voice has been used over 100,000 times across.
That video got abused.
Yes. And your name is not associated with it. Your voice is, because no one that follows you put it on their story, and I sent it to you and I was like, homie, isn't this your voice?
It was like this random guy from like Guatemala, like his video.
Yeah. He used your voice. But the reason why I say that is, TikTok with these jingles, these things that are used. I mean, have you thought about running down the path? I mean, have you also thought about, and Sae'Von can talk a little bit more about this, about the NFT side? Dude, you have an audience. There's a lot of stuff popping in the blockchain space. I'm sure Sae'Von off rip would just have some ideas.
Yeah, I would be more than willing to listen to that. Sae'Von, if you have any thoughts on the NFT space, and if I was wanting to enter it, how would I do that?
I think it would go back to what your ultimate outcome, what you'd want that to be. But I'll be mindful in a sense of, I can hit you directly with some of these just because we don't want nobody biting your stuff. Basically, there's a couple different ways to go about it. Some people, they'll create a piece of artwork. I think that's the most common thing that people are familiar with. And I think that even if you did nothing more than take the YMM, literally, if you did that, man, enough people support you. I think at that point, then tie a part of that into a charity, into something that will go forward and produce more good for people. So it could be, a different type of scholarship. Maybe it's something that funds an apprenticeship where people can go and have an experiential scholarship. But you could definitely tie that into being funded with the royalty mechanism on the back end of your NFTs. And that's something a lot of different companies are doing, or they'll literally sell the NFTs in support of charity. So you can do that a couple different ways. You could do it with audio. You can make the NFT not just visually based, but visual and audio. You could have it associated with an experience, whether it be a call with you, a meet and greet. it's so wide open. It's almost like asking somebody, okay, how are you going to succeed on TikTok? Right? It's like, well, there's some tenets, but how do you want to approach it?
Okay, interesting. I have to, and I've obviously seen NFT all over the internet, but I haven't really dived into it because I didn't really know what it was or how I could get involved. So if I was, I guess I'm legit a beginner, never done any research. What resources would you direct me into, like find out more information or to learn more about it? Any YouTubers or sites that you'd recommend?
Yeah, so you could definitely go to OpenSea.io or .com, but that's one of the biggest marketplaces where they sell it, and I'm pretty sure they have some informational content there. But you can look that up. You can look through Gemini. They have like a encyclopedia thing. But honestly, man, if you just go on YouTube, you type in what is an NFT, then you'll get a bunch of videos. James was talking about, I think 1:37 p.m. They did like 100-page write-up on it. But basically, all an NFT really does is it is verifiable authenticity. That's all it actually is. And so the beauty behind that is people like you can then have something that anybody else will know with 100% certainty. This is authentic from Zach himself. Like, this isn't a fugazi. This isn't a ripoff.
Yeah, don't question it.
There's no questioning it. And then you can associate programmed royalties into the back end of any resale of that NFT down the road. So if you issued, let's just say you took a photo of your tattoo, you had somebody do like a crazy illustration of it, and then you put like a dope audio behind it, whether it just be instrumental or a voiceover, you know, something like an Eric Thomas type vibe where you're just, you know, speaking life to people, and you sold that, right? You could mint one, you can mint 100, you can mint 10,000, you can mint any number you want. But once you sell out, the only ones you'll ever make are done. And then if somebody wants to sell it down the road, whenever it sells, there'll be a royalty that's taken from that. And you can set what that is. It can be 1%, it can be 10, it can be 20, and that will automatically get sent back to the wallet from the account you created it with. And then you could use a portion of those funds to donate to charity. You could use a portion of those funds to build some other endeavor that you have going forward. But in terms of what the NFT is in and of itself, literally there's no limitation on what the NFT is. But that's what NFT is, that verifiable authenticity. That's why it's so valuable.
And why has that grown so fast?
I think it's grown quickly because of people like you and content. Because it's hard to stop somebody from ripping you off on the internet. You know, you can literally have a thought. You know, so when people go through experiences like that, it's like, okay, how can I, one, protect what I'm doing, but how can I also protect my community so that they know this is actually coming from me, this isn't coming from me. And so when people realized there was a way in which they could legitimately authenticate that at scale in a way that's verifiable on the blockchain, but then you can tie a royalty to the back end. That's when artists saw an opportunity to say, damn, you mean not only can I make sure that anything I sell is 100% legit, but also in perpetuity, I will get a check from this. So that, because I think we're just now kind of seeing us go through this next wave of a renaissance where people begin to value art again, right? And really place a premium on it. And we've seen that by people getting on YouTube, getting on TikTok, and now, you know, they've created 6, 7, 8, 9-figure businesses from their thoughts, from a creative pursuit. And so people recognizing that, they're saying, okay, well, why don't I really get the maximum value out of my creativity, and not by necessarily charging people anymore, but just by having this programmatically built in to the lineage of this thing, this NFT. And that way people don't get charged more, but I'm always going to see a representation in real time of how the world is valuing my art. If people don't buy it, if nobody else sells it again, cool. But if it continues to sell and sell for more even, then that residual just comes back. So I think it's just the hybridization of that. We're in a bull market, so there's attention on it. And you've had, you know, the right influencers jump on board. People like Gary Vee, people like Christie's Auction House. So I think it's just really kicked off this intrigue.
Okay. No, you seem super passionate about it. I'm gonna have to check it out. And I love the idea that you said how long-term this could be with the residual return. And you don't know where it can lead to. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for explaining that. Cause I haven't done any research, and that was a beautiful introduction to get me excited to want to actually learn about it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, man. Happy to help.